I love it. I
It's on
love
my mind, that's for sure.
I love it. Well, good evening. Thank you so much for joining Soft Life Smart Money. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. This space was created intentionally for women who are successful, capable, and driven, but ready for money to feel lighter. Today is not about fixing you. It's about refining how you relate to money so your success feels as good as you look. And I'm going to pause really quickly here and just give every one of you an opportunity to really just relax and close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths. Just you want to breathe in deeply, breathe out slowly. One more time, deep inhale and exhale. We're living in a time of, there's a lot of unrest and political chaos. And as high achieving, hardworking women, we carry a lot. And so I want you for this hour just to just release all of that. Let your hair down and take in this information as a way to help you live a soft life using smart money. For those that don't know me, I am Coach Sapphire Star. I am author, international speaker, leadership and financial empowerment coach at Organized Chaos. We work with individuals, especially women that look like me, as well as organization, build confidence, clarity, and wealth. There was a time when I was doing really well on paper. The career, I had the house, I had the car, the husband, the 2.5 kids, the dogs, and the white picket fence. But internally, money felt stressful and heavy. I realized I didn't want a rich life that cost me my peace. That's when I shifted from hustle base to intentional money that's aligned with my leadership. And that's what I now help other women do the same. Here's what we'll cover today. We're going to talk about why money still feels heavy, even when you're doing everything right, what a soft life actually means financially, how to create calm, clear money systems, and how to move from paycheck pressure to peace. This is part mindset, part strategy, and part practical. Before we dive in, I want to briefly introduce you to our Soft Life Smart Money Workbook because this workshop is meant to be experienced and not just listened to. And this workbook is not required, but again, it gives you an opportunity to fully lock in and dive in during the workshop this evening. In the workbook, you'll find reflection prompts, simple exercises, and space to process what we're talking about today in a way that actually resonates and stick. You can use it live during today's session, and you'll also be able to return to it anytime you need a reset about money, boundaries, or next steps. You simply scan the QR code and you'll be taken to checkout. You'll be able to purchase and download the workbook. Does anyone have any questions before we dive in? And you can unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Coach Cal, do we have any questions in the chat?
At the moment, we do not have any questions.
Thank you so very much. And I forgot to introduce
Absolutely.
our amazing moderator for this evening, Mr. Coach Cal McLeod. Let's give him a heart for
Hello,
joining us
everyone.
and helping us and helping us provide and have a safe space. He's an ally. He's an ally.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome.
If we don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and dive in. So, who is this for? This experience is for high achieving women, women who are responsible, intelligent, and often the one everyone else depends on. If you make good money but still feel stressed out, if you're tired of carrying finances alone, if you want ease without losing momentum, you are in the right room. Before we go any further, let's set the tone. There's no shame here, no judgment. Again, this is a safe space, no perfection required. Money is emotional, especially for high achieving women. I want you to give yourself permission and grace to receive something new today. Here's what most people don't talk about, and I'm going to say the quiet thing out loud. High achieving women don't struggle because they're irresponsible. They struggle because they're overextended, overwhelmed, undersupported, and carrying too much alone. You don't need more discipline or more money, sis. You need better systems. So, what does soft life really means? Let's define or redefine soft life. I had someone ask me the other day, and it wasn't a question, it was more of a statement of, I thought soft life meant you didn't work hard, or if you want to live a soft life, somehow that negate the action of working for it. And I had to let them know that soft life does not mean that you're lazy, careless, or unambitious. Soft life means fewer money decisions. It means clear boundaries. It means having systems that support your nervous system. Soft life is intentional ease and not avoidance. Soft life is learning how to make your money work hard for you while you're living your best life. Everything I teach is rooted in this framework. So let me introduce you to the Soft Life Smart Money framework. And here are the three pillars. Number one is the soft life mindset. Number two, smart money systems. And number three, wealth that builds time. Now, let's break these down. The soft life mindset. Everything begins with your mindset. Coach Kyle and I have a podcast called Soul Shift Sessions. And in that podcast, we have deep transformative conversations to help you transform your mind, to transform your life. I believe everything begins with your beliefs and your mindset. If the mind can believe it, the body will achieve it. Everything I teach and everything I do and how I lead at Organized Chaos begins with your mindset. High achieving women are often carrying invisible money pressures. We've been taught to push through, grind it out, and self manage everything. The soft life, smart money mindset prioritize financial peace, intentionality, and ease over hustle culture and burnout. It involves using money as a tool to cultivate a low stress lifestyle through automation, budgeting, and conscious value aligned spending. The key principles into this soft life mindset is learning how to manage money gently, investing to avoid idle cash, and ensuring long term financial security to sustain a life of comfort. That's framework number one, the soft life mindset. I want you to think about a limiting belief that you have around money, and maybe even a limited belief you have around the soft life. I want you to take the time and think about what is a good reframe around that limiting belief. One belief that I adopted, I would think, just growing up culturally in my household was that you're going to always have debt. You're going to always have, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, you're going to always have debt. But you and I both know debt is bondage. It's hard to live a soft life when you're saddled with high interest debt. And so I had to reframe that. I had to reshape my thoughts around money and debt to, I'm going to always have debt till, oh, one day I'm going to be debt free. I believe I can be debt free. And it wasn't until my mindset shift that my actions began to line up with my beliefs. Because why would I try to get out of debt if I believe I will always have debt? And no matter what I did about it, it would always be there. But once I shift that mindset into believing that I could be out of debt, it was just a matter of time before I create a plan of action and made that happen. So think about a limiting belief you have and think about how you can reframe that to align with the soft life. Number two, soft life requires smart systems, not complexity, clarity. So, key components of this approach include automation, and that is simply setting up automatic transfers for savings, for investing, for paying your bills, and taking care of your expenses to reduce the mental load and reliance on willpower. Next, we have the lazy cash strategy. And so that's making sure, again, your money is working for you. So ensuring that money just isn't sitting idly in low interest accounts by investing in what can work for you. And that can look like if you're working a W-2, are you contributing to an employee match retirement fund? Do you have a 401k option at your job? If you're self-employed, do you have I believe it's called a SEP retirement account? You can start your own IRA account, which is your individual retirement accounts. You can open your own Roth IRA account or your own traditional retirement account. Do you have retirement account set up? Do you have an emergency fund set up? It's recommended that you have 3 to 6 months of your living expenses saved in an emergency fund. And obviously, that's based on your comfort. For me, I felt comfortable having at least 12 months of living expenses saved. But I recommend minimally having 3 months of living expenses. And if you're doing a monthly budget, again, you be able to tell, okay, what are my living expenses every month? Multiply that by three and set up an automatic saving to start saving towards that to build that emergency fund. Sorry, someone's trying to. Next, we have intentional spending using what I call a soft life budget, which involves allocating money not just for expenses, but for joy or leisure. And this is important that you add on your budget line when you're doing a budget. You have your income, you have your expenses, you have your savings, you have your debt. But I highly encourage you to add a budget line for joy. And this is to avoid feeling guilty when you want to spend something on yourself or to avoid overspending. Plan for it. If you plan for it in advance, this can help you create a system that, again, leads to a soft life without burnout or without feeling guilty about spending your hard earned money. You can incorporate and use tools like the 50-30-20. This is a budget style where 50% of your income go towards your needs, 30% goes towards your wants, and you can add that joy line in your wants, and 20% of your income goes towards savings. And this, again, to balance enjoying today while securing for tomorrow. Life is for the living. Next, we have prioritizing structure. So, again, creating systems that build wealth without the need for constant manual monitoring. These systems is designed to provide security and ease by making sure, for example, that your money, again, is working for you, then you simply, and then it's simply running you. I'll say that again. Your money is working for you rather than running you. Our third pillar is wealth that buys time. Wealth isn't just about money, it's not just about stuff. It's about having options, options to rest, options to choose, options to say no. It's about living a life that's filled with purpose, passion, and possibility. And so the question may be, well, how do I buy back my time? And my answer to that is creating multiple streams of income. I recently on my social media on TikTok as well as Instagram, I talked about how to create 7 streams of income from one idea. And if we have time towards the end, if you guys would like to go through that, we can totally do that. You can give me an idea that you have, and we can walk through and see how we can come up with 7 income streams from that one idea. But that's the key because if you're exchanging your time for money, and that particular stream dries up or it goes away, then you're forced to figure out how I'm going to take care of my bills. That's that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And so, how do you navigate that? Is having multiple streams of income. Ideally, multiple streams of passive income, money that's working for you while you're pursuing your soft life, pursuing your passions, you pursuing your dreams, you're pursuing philanthropic work. If you want to be able to give back to your community, if you want to stand up for a cause, right? But you have to go to work. This is again an opportunity for your money to be working for you while you pursue that. That's why it's important. It's imperative, actually, in these days and time to be able to have these streams of income to support your life. And it's really, again, it falls back to having a strategy. Your income, it shows your capacity. Your strategy determines your freedom. It determines your future. It determines having and living a fulfilled life. So those passive income is thinking about utilizing side hustles. Think about what are you good at? What are people always asking you to do? That's where you start. You start out with what you're capable of and figuring out how to turn your passions into profits. Also, investments can create income streams. At Organized Chaos, we teach real estate investing. Real estate investing, 9 out of 10 millionaires are made that way through real estate investing. So, learning different ways that you can invest in real estate is a great way to bring in an income stream. Then we have investing in yourself, When I started my financial freedom journey and I first paid off $33,000 worth of debt in 3 years, and I created and I saved for a fully funded emergency fund, before I invested in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, before I invested in anything, I invested in myself. I invested in my education. I invested in my knowledge. I invested into, well, what does Sapphire want to do? And at the time, it was travel. So I invested in travel. I started traveling the world. You don't have to wait to live. When you create a strategy and a system with your money, you can then create a life that you can do what you want whenever you want. I call it the work optional lifestyle. If someone asks me, well, what do you do for a living? I live for a living. That's what this is all about. Again, we go back to that strategic planning and automation, right? Implementing set it and forget it strategy for saving and investing to reduce daily financial monitoring. Again, having system, automation. I say this all the time, even when you're building your career, as you're building your career, even as if you're building a business as an entrepreneur, it's very important to have automation and things in place because again, time is your most valuable asset, not money. So the question is, how do you buy back that time? Setting up systems, setting up automation while you're building is very, very important to having that soft life on the other side of building and achieving and working hard. Again, this approach is designed for high achieving women who are successful on paper, but crave more ease, more peace, more clarity, more control over your time. So let's pause for a moment. I want you to reflect quietly on these three questions. Where does money feel heavy for me? What are you managing alone that you don't have to? And how can you delegate? How do you want money to feel? That's a good one. That's a good one. How do you want money to feel? Would anyone like to share their thoughts on any one of those questions? Don't be shy.
I'll say that I'll answer the last one. How do you want money to feel? I want it to not be a burden.
Mm,
Sometimes you hear more money, more problems. And often I feel like I've experienced that before, but that's not always the case. So I want to break that cycle. I want it to feel peaceful.
mm,
That's
Ashe.
it. Ashe.
I was gonna say the same thing. I want it to feel peaceful and not stressful and not something that I don't want to worry about it either, actually. I don't want to have to worry about money. I want it to do what it need to do and do what I tell it to do, actually. And that's where we take control over. It's like, okay, you know what? You don't run me. I run you, I tell you what to do. So having that control and not worrying about it is definitely how I want to feel about money. Would anyone else like to share? Maybe where does money feel heavy in your life? Or is there anything you're managing alone and it's like, ugh, I wish there was a way that I can delegate or I can figure out a way to manage this more efficiently and more effectively? So, why doing this alone isn't working? Here's the truth. Most high achieving women don't fail because lack of discipline. They stall because they're trying to do everything alone. Raise your hand if you can relate. I'll put both hands up. Support is not weakness, it's leadership. If this conversation is resonating with you, I want to extend an invitation. I work with high achieving women inside Soft Life Smart Money Coaching. This is private, strategic, and judgment free support designed to help you lead your money with calm and confidence. Inside coaching, we simplify your finances, create aligned money systems, build boundaries around money, and design wealth that supports your lifestyle. This isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Inside coaching, we work together to simplify your finances so you support your lifestyle, build money systems that reduce decision fatigue, and create boundaries around money, time, and your energy. We shift from managing money reactively to leading it confidently, more proactively. Again, telling it what to do. And design wealth that buys your peace, option, and your freedom. This work is about refinement, not rescue. So, who is this for and not for? This work is for women who are ready for refinement, not rescue, women who value privacy, strategy, and accountability. If you're ready to stop carrying money alone, this is for you. I want you to be clear about who this is for. Soft money, smart life is for women who earn well but don't feel wealthy, are tired of carrying financial responsibilities, want clarity without overwhelm, value discretion, support, and strategy, and are ready to invest in themselves in a meaningful way. This is not for someone looking for a quick fix, it's for someone ready to lead her money differently. If you're feeling that quiet nudge, the one that says, I don't want to keep doing this alone, that's what we listen to. Your next step isn't commitment, it's a conversation. It's inviting you to book a private clarity call with me. This is a relaxed, no pressure conversation where we talk about where you are financially, identify what feels heavy or misaligned, and decide together if coaching is the next step for you. If it's a fit, I'll walk you through what support could look like. If it's not, you'll still leave with clarity. And for those of you who attend live, I'm also including our Soft Life Money Blueprint, a guided money reset tool, and priority enrollment for coaching. The QR code takes you to the link to book a clarity call, and you can also send me an email. If you go to www.sapphirestar.com, you can also click connect or send me an email. You don't need to work harder to deserve peace. You don't need to prove anything to earn ease. And you don't need to carry money alone. Soft life is allowed, smart money is learnable, and support is available when you're ready. I just want to share a testimony I got from one of my clients. I've always been the responsible one. I handled everything myself and thought that was just part of being successful. Who can relate? Through coaching, I realized I didn't need more discipline. I needed better systems and support. My money finally feels organized, intentional, and peaceful. I'm no longer carrying the burden alone. I'll open up for questions. There's no wrong questions here. And if something is personal, we can also discuss that privately as afterwards as well. Do we have any questions? Any challenges anyone is dealing with and need directions with? Again, this is a safe space to ask the questions and get the support, or like again, to get direction on where to go, especially when it relates to money, as it relates to possibly how to manage money, how to eliminate debt, how to leverage debt. That's my favorite one. I believe when it comes to credit in America, we take that for granted. Most countries don't have a system of credit where you can borrow money and pay for something that you possibly can't afford or don't have the money for and pay it back later. And most times people are using credit to buy, excuse my French, stupid shit. And they're not buying assets per se, they're buying liabilities. But imagine if you use this tool, this credit tool, to buy assets, and the asset pays back the debt, but you still have the asset once the debt is paid off. So now the asset is paying you. Imagine that. That is called leverage. That is how you tap into multiple streams of income. That's how you fund your future. That's how you fund your business. That's how you fund your passions. We have the luxury of doing that in America by leveraging our credit, simply by paying our bills on time, making sure that we are below the 30% utilization, making sure we have a solid credit history, making sure we're not applying for a lot of different things we don't need. That's how you build a air quote good credit score. And again, being able to use that as a tool to fund your soft life. Maybe you have a question possibly about investing, how to invest in yourself, how to invest in your business. A business is an asset. It is something ideally that you create a service, a product where you can help someone, you can serve someone, but also to make a profit. And so, how do you invest in that to create, yet again, another stream of income? You don't have to work hard for money. I know we've been taught that. That's been beat down in our brains of, oh, you got to work hard. You got to work hard. And hard work, I believe, has its place in terms of ethics, in terms of creating habits for success. But I do ultimately believe that we can work smarter by using systems so we don't have to work as hard. Because working hard leads to what? Stress. It leads to overwhelm. It leads to burnout. And if, as women, also too, we carry and wear many hats. So not only are we working and we running the business, but we also are expected to take care of our household, to take care of our families. That's another thing that we have to carry. So I firmly believe if we learn these systems, we learn to work smarter, we can become and be more available to be able to serve in the capacity that we wish to serve in at optimal level, not working off of fumes. And, the number one killers of Black women, especially, is heart disease. And oftentimes, the number one killers of people are preventable diseases. They're stress related, they're stress induced. Again, yet another level, another reason to discover and figure out, how do I live a smart life, a soft life, a smart life, using smart money financially. And I believe your finances is a foundation. It's a foundation for what you can build on. Because if you have that foundation where you're not worrying about money, it's not a burden, it's not overwhelming, it then creates space for you to be creative and think about more important things in life. Everything in life is not about money. It's not about money. So if my money's working for me, how can I live a life full of, again, purpose, passion, and possibility. That's the foundation. And also learning the habits that you create as a result of managing your money, getting out of debt, investing your money. You could take those same habits and you can apply that to your health, to your physical well-being, to your spiritual health, to um your career. Is again creating these habits. You set a goal and you make it happen. Because when you set a goal, one of my favorite quotes by Jim Rohn is set a goal to be a millionaire, not for what you get out of it, but who you become as a result of achieving that goal. Thank you so much for being here and choosing yourself today. Remember, success doesn't have to feel hard. Peace is allowed, wealth is allowed, and support is available. And does anyone, because I talked about, we have a few minutes left. I talked about that MSI technique, that multiple streams of income, one idea, seven streams. Does anyone have, let me stop sharing. Does anyone have an idea that maybe you're working on something, maybe it's already in place, but you're maybe struggling with coming up with different streams of income or different ways to support your life and to be able to create multiple streams of income? um, we could definitely take this time to brainstorm that and see how we can come up with different streams to help you bring in more income to, again, soft life. Anyone have any ideas that they're working on?
I have some ideas, but not ones that I'm working on. A few that I've tried. I mean, one that I've tried maybe, but I never really got back into it.
Okay, what was that? What was that
I
idea?
think a good one would be I ordered some stuff for to make soap bars. I think that would be a good one. And my friend used to make candles, and I have made some like with the first order of stuff that I got. I just never really got back to into it, but I did want to like try to start a side business with that.
Oh, that's a great idea. So you were make soap and candles.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did it, I know you say you started, were you able to like at least start selling the product like online? Did you have a website or store or anything, or it's just in conception, like just an idea?
No, I just made them and I gave them to friends just to like see how they like it and if it would be a good start of doing something like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So obviously, one stream of income would be the actual product, right? That's selling the product would be one stream of income. And that would just be like online or actual going to like vendor events and selling your candles at vendor events. And so I'm just gonna put product vendor. Number two is, and this is just me thinking on the fly here, is maybe hosting candle making classes. So you'll have actual classes, live event where, because women, they have like bridal showers, they have girls' trips. And so you can actually host classes where you teach women how to make the candles and make soap. And so you can host classes for that. Um, Another income idea I was thinking about is a ebook, right? A digital product. And it can be how to make candles, but you can put your own creative spin on it. And so, was there a particular type of candles that you were going to specialize in? Soaps that you were going to specialize in? It was just general.
I would say it would definitely be like organic, so like soy wax.
Okay.
And for the soap, same thing. But I think it's like the bases, it's like different bases you can get, like coconut base. Goat milk is really good for the skin, they say. So I was looking into that as well.
Okay. Okay. So again, having a digital product where you teach people how it could be even be like, okay, how to start a candle business, how to start a soap business, and you can literally sell that digital product. And this is you running the business, but you also teaching people the how of what you do. And that can be a digital product that you sell. And also, if you wanted to sell digital products that just maybe told the benefits of different soaps, the benefits of candles, and you can even spin that with self-care, prioritizing self-care, right? And so then you can venture off and look into, and this is number four, is like how can you partner with and collaborate? Because I firmly believe in collaboration over competition and thinking about how you can partner with other candle makers, soap makers, but also people in the self-care space. So going into spas, wellness centers, and being able to sell your products in these places, but also share like what you do and do it in collaboration. So even if you had retreats, workshops, seminars, being able to sell your product, but also selling like the how of again what I talked about earlier with having the classes. I know with even like with Airbnb, you know, because I am a Airbnb host, I'm a super host. Shout outs to me. On Airbnb, you don't have to just have a property. You can actually uh, you can sell experiences. So that's another place that you can potentially promote your classes on candle making and actually go to Airbnbs again for these women's trips. I have women girl groups that rent my spaces and they're always looking for something to do for the group while they're there. So that's an idea that you can do with that too. Um, so that's five right there, just from making the candles in the soap bars.
Can I ask a question about the Airbnb?
Yeah.
Do you have like your own Airbnbs that you like actually rent out, or you just like advertise it for friends?
Oh no, I'm a real estate investor. And so
Mm.
with my company, we buy undervalued properties and we do value add repositioning like renovation and rehab. And we turn those into midterm rentals and co-living spaces. And so um, Airbnb is just a platform that I use to put my midterm rentals out there, but I also have direct booking sites and I also use furnished finders. We specialize with travel healthcare professionals, but because in another life I was a clinical laboratory scientist, so I understand intimately what travel healthcare provide travel healthcare professionals are looking for, but also people understanding living with other people because I know some people that co-living is like it seems foreign, but people do it all the time. And so I own several properties and I rent my I rent by the room.
Okay, so another thing I was looking into is like Airbnbs. I just don't know where to start. And so like I have a busy schedule. Like I'm military, I'm a mom, I'm married, I'm at school. So I just don't know where to start or if I have enough funds to start.
When you say Airbnb, you want to do short-term rentals or you want to co-host?
Short-term rentals.
Okay, so you want to look into real estate investing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
even I even thought about when I was younger, I thought about always flipping houses as well.
Absolutely. And I've done fix and flips, and I would definitely encourage you to go to my website because we can have a more in-depth call and talk about how to get started with real estate investing. I also have a free mastermind class that's coming up in March, but I could just give you some direction in terms of, okay, where do you get started? In general, when I tell people about getting started in real estate, the first place you want to get started is in education, right? Invest in your education. And Bigger Pockets is a great, their podcast on YouTube is amazing. It's the Bigger Pockets Rookie podcast. It talks about people that are just getting started into real estate. So listening to that podcast and also Small and Mighty Investor. It's a book by Chad Carson those are two great resources to get started in terms of understanding and learning how to get started in real estate. But yeah, you can book a call because I do real estate investing coaches. I do classes as well. And so, but education is the first place you want to start with real estate investing. And where are you located?
I stay in Georgia,
What part?
like a little Westy, like near Savannah almost.
Okay, cool. And nothing else. Start going to networking events. So any networking events that are held in Savannah, there's one if you on Facebook. It's called Cash Flow Savannah, and they meet. I think it's the second or third Thursday of every month. So start getting in spaces and getting around people that are doing the thing that you want to do, and start educating yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. And again, if you go to Sapphire Star with 2Rs.com, and just book a call. We can have a chat. I love to help. I love real estate. I can talk about real estate all day. So and believe it or not, I was once like you. I was once like, man, I want to get started. I don't know where to start. And here I am with several properties and several things that I'm doing with it. So it's possible. It's possible. Even with no experience and no money. Because I got my property, they were foreclosures. So my first fix and flip, I made six figures with none of my money in the deal. Leveraging credit. When I talked about earlier how to use credit to fund your lifestyle, I literally did that. Six figures on my first fix and flip. Any other questions? Any other ideas? Do we have anything in the chat, Coach Kyle McLeod? Let's see if we
I'm
have.
over here trying to unmute myself, and my doggone mouse is getting stuck under the thing that it is like it's holding the buttons down. So I'm like unable, like the mouse is on it, but I can't unget it.
Right.
Anyway, there's nothing in the chat. That I did all that to say there's nothing in the chat.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining Soft Life Smart Money. Oh, OJ? Yes, ma'am. What you got? You're not mute, but I don't hear you if you're talking. Are you there? I don't know. Maybe she's having some technical difficulties. Okay. Um, Again, thank you guys so much for, let's see.
She said a
Um,
one-on-one.
Okay. Okay. Yes. You want to go to Sapphire Star. So that's right here. If you can see it on my screen there, but it's you go to sapphirestar.com. You can book a free strategy call with me, and I would love to talk with you guys about having a strategy for your soft life smart money or real estate. Whatever questions you may have, feel free to book a strategy call. Thank you so much for joining. And also make sure you subscribe to our newsletter so you can sign up for more classes like this at Organized Chaos. Again, sapphirestar.com. Visit our website and you can see our upcoming events and join our free newsletter. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Well, all right.
Let's see, I'm hit stop recording.